Ribbit, ribbit. I'm a little frau. I'm a little green frau. Ribbit, ribbit. I'm sat here in my Sunday best. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Slippin' here. Today I'm just going to come to you with a really chill kind of casual commentary thing, playing as combat engineer on a very fun new map I've found. Somehow it's eluded me for quite a while. This is PL Patagonia. I think that's right, Patagonia. But I just saw this map recently, and look how beautiful this looks. It's insane. It's very quickly become one of my favorite maps in the whole game. And I am going to sort of commentate on what's happening here, especially at the start, because this is a very unusual round for me. I actually end up getting quite a few kills, which is truly remarkable for me. I don't know how I did so well on this map. Maybe it just works well for combat Engie. Who knows? Anyway, I get a few kills here. Get this soldier. I'm just kind of repositioning my sentry. One thing I always make sure to do is to move my sentry around, whether it's a mini sentry, like I'm using here, or it's a full level 3 sentry. I always want to kind of catch people by surprise, take them off guard, and that's how I feel I get most of my kills. But anyway, I'm using the Frontier Justice, the Lugamorph, and the what do you call the fist thing, the Gunslinger. That's that's the one. Anyway, yeah, I do get a few kills here. I'm not really sure if this is going to be all 3 rounds of what I was playing, or if it's just going to be the first round, and I'm going to show you guys the full kind of match. But anyway, the main bulk of what I want to really talk about today is actually more so, well, as the title of the video suggests, working out and nutrition, and how you can get into working out and in improving your nutrition. If you're very new to all of it and you're interested in starting, then I'll sort of give you guys some tips on how to get started. So to give you some background, I started working out a very long time ago now. I think it was around 2014 or so, and I would have been 14. And the stuff that actually got me into the gym was Germa's old videos talking about, the same kind of thing. Working out, nutrition, etc, etc. So, naturally, I feel, well, if I can make the same kind of thing and get, even just one person into the gym, into working out, then I feel like I've kind of paid it forward a little bit, and I've done my job. So anyway, yeah, I started working out in 2014, back obviously when I was in school. And the way I got started was I literally just went to the fitness room at my school. It was like a very small, tiny room with a couple of treadmills, a multi-gym thing, and yeah, just some very basic weights. But it was really good to sort of get me into the ropes of working out and eating right. And I think back then my goal was very especially I used to be quite chubby. I've always been a bit kind of husky. But especially back then, I was just kind of at best skinny fat, at worst a bit chubby. And I thought, I want to get in shape. I want to feel better. I want to look better. I want to be more desirable and actually kind of look nice and feel fit and healthy. So, largely due to just my complete lack of knowledge and experience, I think I made a lot of mistakes with starting out with the gym. Primarily just going into almost entirely for, you know, the looks aspect, right? I wanted to look a certain way. And very quickly with the gym, although I did see some improvements, I found that time and time again, almost year after year, I was running into the same problem time and time again of, well, yeah, fuck, I've been working out now for X amount of years or months or whatever, and I still kind of look the same. I feel better, and I'm eating better, but I look the same. And it only really hit me more going into early 20s that if you are starting the gym or your fitness journey or, you know, whatever it is, with the goal of looking a certain way, you will always be disappointed. Because something that is really kind of misconveyed online is just how hard it is to actually get the results you're looking for. A lot of people online are using things like steroids, you know, they're full-time trainers, so they can work out all the time, get a completely balanced diet, etc, etc. But most people don't have that opportunity. Most people, probably including yourself, either have to go to school all day or work, and typically have very sedentary desk jobs and, you know, office jobs, stuff like that. But anyway, the point at which I started to make real progress was not when I went, okay, I want my body to, I want to look like Henry Cavill, or I want to look like Geralt. Both of which have been actual like body goals I've wanted to get to before. But those goals weren't what actually helped me get towards what I wanted to be at, if that makes sense. Yeah, let me explain. So once I started with more tangible, objective goals, I found that the body results, like the aesthetic way I looked, just came as a byproduct. So what I mean by that is, instead of going, well, I want to look like this, my goals became, I want to gain 10 kilograms. That's all. You know, I'm not measuring, is that fat, is that muscle? I just want to gain 10 kilograms. And alongside that, I want to increase my bench press by 10 kilograms also. And then what I had started to do is set myself very tangible, realistic, short-term goals that I could actually achieve. So I could step on the scale once or twice a week, see that I was going up. I could go into the gym, and on the last set of bench press, I could add on 2.5 kg or 1.25 or whatever, just a tiny amount. If you're completely new to the gym, this is called progressive overload, and it literally just means adding a tiny bit to your workout in terms of weight or intensity each time, so that your body responds to it and makes very slow and steady improvements. And I found that because I had these tangible goals to hit, and I knew how to hit them, I would end up hitting them, and then just as a completely, almost unintended side effect, I'd look in the mirror and go, well, hey, I'm like a hell of a lot closer now to how I actually want to look, because I'm not focusing on my body, I'm not obsessed, I'm not panicking over the smallest, okay, well, I don't look the way I want to look, I'm going to go and do 4 hours in the gym today. I was just being realistic, I was taking it very slowly, and I was going in a very informed state. And it doesn't matter what your goal is. You know, your goal could be strength. Your goal could be mobility, less inflammation. You know, you just want to feel better. You want more energy. Currently, at the minute, my goal is a very functional goal. I'm very focused on pull-ups at the minute. That's my main exercise, right? So I've been bulking now for a couple of years, which is when you eat a lot and you lift very heavy in order to put on a lot of muscle mass. And now I am cutting, which means trying to maintain the same weight while decreasing calories, you know, keeping the same protein, and you're hopefully just losing as much fat as possible while maintaining as much muscle mass as you can. So with that, my goal has become, okay, well, I want to do 10 pull-ups with 20 kg of weight attached to me, which is a very difficult goal. I've been doing the gym for years, and that's still like way off that goal. But I'll get there because I'm setting myself little goals. You know, when you start out, and when I started out, the goal was literally just, can I run for 5 minutes without getting out of breath or something like that. But yeah, when you set these little goals for yourself, you can tick them off each week and go, I know I've hit that. And that kind of comes into the nutrition side too. Now, I've heard some people don't like counting calories. Personally, I really like it. I find it's a good way to measure your progress, as long as you don't get too obsessed with it. But really, if you are someone who is just starting out, you've never touched a weight in your life, you've been eating like fucking slop cheeseburgers and sweets and like rotten slime garbage for your whole life, the best thing you can do is just start to iron out the basics. So what I mean by that is, and we're just going to stick talking about the diet side of things for the moment. But a very good goal, the most effective thing I've found in terms of dieting, is simply just eating whole foods. That is literally all you have to do in order to start feeling a lot better. You know, a lot of foods have really bad chemicals in them nowadays. A lot of stuff is very processed. And even if something is presented as healthy, you flip it over in the supermarket and you check the ingredients and you find that there's like by triglycerate nascent formula 2xb9 4j8 on the back, and it's like, oh wow, okay, so this is gonna give me mega cancer then. Brilliant. Amazing. And you don't really want to be eating that kind of stuff. You know, I'll never advocate for going too hard on yourself, okay? Because this stuff is hard to avoid. Of course, you know, there's going to be times when you get some of this stuff in your diet, especially if, you know, you are a younger viewer and your parents buy shopping. It can be hard to communicate that, look, you don't really want to be eating this stuff. But I guess that if that is you, maybe you could just ask your parents and say, like, hey, I'm trying to eat a bit cleaner. Can I just get some whole foods? By that I mean simple one-ingredient foods. Chicken, sweet potato, stuff like that. My diet at the minute is literally oats and milk, porridge, you know, in the morning. About 4 eggs for lunch. I'll typically have chicken thigh or chicken breast for tea or dinner, you know, as you call it. And I'll have a sweet potato with that, and then just a bowl of fruit for my dessert. Now, to most people, that sounds incredibly, incredibly dull and depressing. And it sort of can be. You know, you don't want to be doing that all the time. You do want to have little breaks and stuff. But I'm at the point where, because that's what I'm so used to, that's what I crave, and that's what I look forward to. In the same way that when I was eating, like, you know, Mr. Sloppy's, like, triple cheeseburger, sugar grot globbers, that was what I was craving. Because that's what my body was used to. And my point is that if you start to eat this stuff, even if you just take your normal diet and you say, okay, well, instead of, let's say, a bowl of cereal in the morning, I am going to have 2 eggs. And that's all you do. And that's all you continue to do for a month. Then you've made a very tangible change towards eating a lot healthier. And it's so much more simple and stress-free. But yeah, just make these very small changes and you will feel a hell of a lot better. And even going beyond diet and exercise, there are other things you can do that are kind of adjacent, like having cold baths or cold showers. Personally, I love I actually don't have a shower, but I have a bath, and so I'll have like cold bath plunges most days, and then I'll get out the bath and I'll have, you know, like a freshly brewed coffee, like freshly ground, and then I'll go and get on with some work, and I feel incredible. I feel amazing. I think I read somewhere that having a cold shower is equivalent to, like, doing a line of cocaine. So, you know, it really does help your mental clarity and focus. Similarly with meditation and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. You know, even just going for a walk in the morning. So my point is that if you are starting out and you just want to feel better, you want to look a bit better, you want to be healthier, just make very small, holistic changes. You know, go for that walk in the morning. Get a gym pass and just go in and literally walk into the gym, do 3 sets of bicep curls, and go, okay, I'm done now. Walk out. Don't overburden yourself with, okay, I'm getting fit and the diet starts now. And you're like lifting 1,000 kilograms and you're eating completely clean and you're trying to make all these changes. It's just not doable. You know, I've been doing this stuff for like 10-ish years now. And even still, I'm slowly implementing things to just get healthier and healthier. And guys, you know, you can do this too. It's really simple when you just go easy on yourself, enjoy it, and just take very slow, very steady steps. But anyway, I think with that being said, I'm going to briefly come back to the actual gameplay now. Hopefully what I've done is, you know, I've just trimmed down the absolute highlights of these 3 rounds on Patagonia. And in which case you will see that we have now lost 2 of the 3 matches, which is, you know, brilliant. And unfortunately here we also happen to lose the 3rd, which is amazing. But anyway, you can't win them all. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I do have a fitness channel in my Discord. A little shameless plug if you want to hop in. Just come in there, at me, and I will respond to you when I can. I've had a few people in there who have let me know their goals, and I've been able to weigh in and advise. I'm no personal trainer. I don't have a degree in this stuff, but I can offer some pretty basic sound advice to help you get started. So yeah, if you're very into fitness, or if you're just starting out, come and hang out there. I'll put the link in the description. Come say hi. But yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, everybody.